So, students, today in our social science class we are going to discuss a new subunit, and the name of the subunit is a closer look Bengal. So, it is in page number 130 of your history book and from chapter number 9. And today in this subunit we are going to discuss about the growth of regional language, means the Bengali language. The growth of regional language, mainly we are talking here about the Bengali language, how Bengali language emerged from the other languages and mainly the Sanskrit, and how it was took a shape of modern form. So, previously we have seen that we are calling any people by their language, such as those people who speak Hindi, we call them Hindustani, or some people who call Tamil, we call them Tamil language, we call them Tamil people, or those people who speak in Oriya, we call them, their mother tongue is Oriya, we call them the Oriya people. In the similar way, the Bengalis who speak Bengali, they also called the Bengalis. So, we assume that the people in Bengal always spoke Bengali. However, what is interesting is that while Bengali is now recognized as a language, but long ago it was not like that. It was derived from Sanskrit, and early Sanskrit texts written in mid first millennium BCE, mid first millennium BCE means the 15 AD, 50 AD more or less, suggests that the people of Bengal did not speak Sanskritic languages, means the language emerged from Sanskrit. They are not used to spoke in this type of languages. How did the new language emerge? So, how did the new language which we call today Bengali emerged? We will discuss that thing today. That from the 4th, 3rd centuries BCE, commercial ties began to develop between Bengal and Magadha, the South Bihar. Magadha today also a railway station also there in South Bihar, and which may have led to the growing influence of Sanskrit. During that 4th century means around 400 AD, the Gupta rulers established political control over North Bengal and began to settle Brahmanas in this area. That Gupta ruler, they took the Bengal region, today's Bengal region, under their control. They are mainly ruled in Patliputra. You have already read their capital, Gupta's capital was Patliputra. In class 6 you have already read. So, they took over that region, and slowly what happened, the Brahmanas from the Magad and surrounding Gangetic plains, they are migrated to the Bengal, such as you can see that the surnames, that Chattopadhyay, Mukhopadhyay, Bandopadhyay and Ganguly, so Gangopadhyay, so these are Upadhyay, means the teachers. So, those surnames, actually these people, it was said they were came from the Gangetic plains, Gangetic valleys, and they are supported and patronized by the Gupta rulers. And from that time, with the Brahmanas, the language of that region that was spoken at the time was also influenced the regional languages, and those Brahmanas spoke at the time in Magadhi or Ardha Magadhi language, and as per the linguists, that Bengali language evolved from Ardha Magadhi Prakrit or Ardha Magadhi Apabhransh. Okay. So, Magadhi is a spoken form, also is derived from Sanskrit, Prakrit, then Magadhi, Ardha Magadhi, Apabhransh or Ardha Magadhi Prakrit, then Bengali. So, in this way, And the earliest Bengali literature that was found between and it was found named Charyapad, and Charyapad was written between 8th to 10th century AD as per the linguists. Okay. And what happened after that? The linguistic and cultural influences from the mid Ganga valley through the Brahmanas, they become stronger day by day. And in the 7th century, the Chinese traveler Huanzhang, who observed that languages related to Sanskrit were in use in all over Bengal. So, we can see that before in the time of 3rd century BCE, the modern Bengali or the language that related to Sanskrit was not spoken in that region, but as per the Huanzhang in 7th century it was very much popular, and lot of Sanskritic words also spoken by the people of Bengal. So, from the 8th century Bengal became the center of regional kingdom under the Palas. You know that Gopala, the ruler who established Pala dynasty in Bengal, and after that Sena dynasty also ruled in Bengal. So, at their time also Bengali language evolved. And between the 14th and 16th centuries, Bengal was ruled by some sultanas named Ilyas Shahi dynasty and Hussain Shahi dynasties. So, in the time of Ilyas Shahi and Hussain Shahi dynasties, lot of Arabic and Persian language also included, and Turkish words also included in the Bengali language. And in the time of Mughals, in 1586 when Akbar conquered Bengal, it formed the nucleus of the Bengal Suba, and while Persian was the language of administration, Bengali developed as a regional language. What happened after? So, in fact by the 5th century, Bengali group of dialects came to be untied by a common literary language based on the spoken language on the western part of the region. So, western part of the region of Bengal, Bengali group of dialects came to be united as a common literary language, and those part now we know as West Bengal, our today's West Bengal. But except this, Bengali is derived from Sanskrit. It passed through several stages of evolution. Also, a wide range of non-Sanskritic words derived from a variety of sources also included in it. And at that time, in the East Bengal region, that is today called Bangladesh, there are different dialects also evolved in different regions, such as in the northwestern part of northeastern part of Bengal, there is a region, and where another dialects were evolved at Sylheti in Srihotto region. Another type of dialects also emerged in Chattogram or Chittagong region, that is the southwestern part southeastern part of today's Bangladesh, and in Mymensingh and in Dhaka, the capital, all these regions today. So, they also practice the similar type of dialects, and these are very much different what kind of what we have spoken and called as a mainstream Bengali. Okay, so, those words also intermixed into the mainstream Bengali. Not only that, various tribal languages such as Santal, Munda, Ho, these words also included into it, such as the Persian, the official language of the Mughals, and lot of Persian words also included into it. And when European companies came to India, and especially in Bengal, Hooghly, Calcutta, these regions, their words also included in the Bengali language, into the Bengali languages, such as lot of Dutch, the Danish, the Portuguese, the French and English words included, influenced by those European companies into the Bengali language and become a part of modern Bengali. So, early Bengali literature may be divided into two categories, one indebted to Sanskrit and the other independent. So, earliest early Bengali literature was divided into two major categories. One derived from Sanskrit and another one is the independent. So, in the literature derived from Sanskrit, inside this lot of different literature we can find out. That first includes the translation of Sanskrit epics, means Ramayana, Mahabharata, as well as the Mangal Kavyas, literally the auspicious poems dealing with some local deities such as Manasha Mongol, Dharma Mongol, Anuda Mongol, and also the bhakti literature such as the biographies of Chaitanya Deva, the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the leader of the Vaishnava Bhakti movement. He was the leader of the Vaishnava Bhakti movement, you have already read in chapter number 8. So, all these literatures are the part of derived from Sanskrit literature. And next one is the independent literature, and in independent literature includes the Nath literatures such as the songs of Moinamoti and Gopi Chandras, the stories concerning the worship of Dharma Thakur, and fairy tales and folk tales and ballads. And those, the first type of texts are easily to date, as several manuscripts have been found, including that they were composed between the late 15th to mid 18th centuries. So, late 15th to mid 18th century. But these independence literatures, they were not to date. Okay. So, those belong to the second category, circulated orally by the village people, mainly the females, and cannot be precisely dated, and they were particularly popular in eastern Bengal, which today known as Bangladesh, and where the influence of Brahmanas was relatively weak, where the influence of the Brahman community in the earlier ages when the Guptas also was limited. So, that is why this type of indigenous literature, folk tales, ballads and stories also emerge as a independent literature, and today also very much popular in East Bengal, today is called Bangladesh. Okay, students. So, I hope you have understood this subunit. If you have any question regarding this, you can ask me. Okay, Akash and Shanchari, if you have any, if you want any example, you can ask me also. So, I have already given some example from the two independent literatures, and also how did the Bengali language evolved. And you also read about this in higher classes in Bengali grammar portion, and in Bengali class you will read this in detail. Okay, so you have no problem. So, that is all from our today's class. So, see you in the next class with a new subunit, and the name of the subunit is Peers and Temples. Okay. So, thank you for watching. If you have any problem, you can mention in the e-portal chat box also, I will answer your questions. Bye everyone.